if you're new to my channel, I'm Lori and you are watching. Hi everybody. As you can tell by the title, I just got my book, my Midnight Sun book. So I'm gonna show it to you and later on I will start talking about how I'm feeling about it and stuff, because of course I haven't read it yet. So yeah, I wanted to open it in this video. So let's see. This book, you guys, oh my gosh, is it big? I knew it was gonna be big because I knew there was gonna be a lot of pages. I mean, that Twilight was pretty big, but this one's really big. I don't remember how much Twilight was, but this one, wow. Still don't know how much I like the cover, but I'm excited to read it. So it says, "I can't sleep," I murmured, answering her question more fully. She was silent for a moment. "At all?" she asked. "Never," I breathed. As I met her penetrating gaze, read the surprise and the sympathy there, I abruptly yearned for sleep. Not for ovulation as I had before, not to escape boredom, but because I wanted to dream. Maybe if I could be unconscious, if I could dream, I could live for a few hours in a world where she and I could be together. She dreamed of me. I wanted to dream of her. She stared back at me, her expression full of wonder. I had to look away. I could not dream of her. She could not dream of me. So, we're going to read the first couple seconds of it, and then we will go off for right now. But just looks like that. And of course, just like that. I'll read to you the beginning of the blurb. It says, "I could see how easy it could be to fall into love and Bella. It would be exactly like falling, effortlessly. Not letting myself love her was the opposite of falling. It was pulling myself up a cliff, face, hand over hand. The task is grueling, as if I had no more than mortal strength." The only part I'm going to read for there. Okay. Now, if you don't want to be spoiled from the beginning of the book, if you're going to read it, then don't watch this little bit. Or, of course, don't read it. Watch it all, because like I put in the thing, there is going to be spoilers. So, and all together, I know sometimes the books can be a little different on what it says, like on the website or whatever you want to say that you get it from. Excuse me, I got some hiccups. There's 658 pages. Okay, so it says, "First sight. This was the time of day when I most wished I was able to sleep. High school. Or was it purgatory, the right word. If there were any way to atone for my sins, this ought to count towards the tally in some measure. The tedium was not something I grew used to. Every day seemed more impossibly monotonous than the last. Perhaps this could even be considered my form of sleep, if sleep was defined as the inert state between active periods. I stared at the crack running through the plaster in the far corner of the cafeteria, imagining patterns into them that were not there. It was one way to tune out the voices that babbled like the gush of a river inside my head. Several hundred of these voices I ignored out of boredom. When it came to the human mind, I heard it all before and then some. Today, all thoughts were consumed with the trivial drama of a new addition to the small student body. It took so little to work them up. I've seen the new face repeated in thought after thought from every angle. Just an ordinary human girl. The excitement over her arrival was tiresome, predictable. It was the same reaction as one would get from flashing a shiny object at a group of toddlers. Half the sheep, like Mel's, were already imagining themselves infatuated with her, just because she was something new to look at. I tried harder to tune them out. That's all I'm going to do. I don't want to spoil it. But I'm going to read some of this, and I will give you some of my thoughts in a little bit. I'm back. Hi, everybody. So I only read the first chapter because I was watching some videos and stuff, but very interesting first chapter. Very interesting that Edward, like when it was sent of her or something like that, made him go all cuckoo, kind of, basically cuckoo, and he wanted to basically kill her, Bella, and whoever else was in the room that would witness it. Very violent. That's why he had to, like, leave for a little bit like he did, I guess. I don't know, like, I'm in the next chapter is, looks like it's going to be the first time he left. Because it's something like about, I leaned back against the soft snowbank, let in the day, powder reshaped itself around my weight. My skin had cooled to match the air around me, and the tiny pieces of ice felt like velvet under my skin. The sky above me was clear, brilliant, with stars glowing blue in some places, yellow in others. The stars created majestically swirling shapes around the black backdrop of the empty universe. An awesome sight, exquisitely beautiful, or rather it should have been exquisite, would have been, if I'd been able to really see it. It wasn't getting any better. 6 days had passed. 6 days I've hidden here in the empty Denilia, how do you say that? Wilderness. But I was no closer to freedom than I had been since the first moment I caught her scent. But when this is like, I tabbed a lot already. Like purple is his, like everything he was thinking. Like, I'll read you the beginning. I'm not going to read you all of it because I don't want to spoil it if you're going to be reading it. But a lot of times, everybody usually says the first chapter they don't consider spoilish, but I'm still going to say just in case you do. But I already put in the thing that it's going to be very spoilish, so yeah. But it starts out with Bella Swan walked into the flow of heated air that blew towards me from the vent. Her scent hit me like a battering ram, like an exploding grenade. There was no image violent enough to encompass, I guess that's how you say it, the force of what happened to me in that moment. Instantly, I was transformed. I was nothing close to human I'd once been. No trace of sheds of humanity I managed to cloak myself in over the years remained. I was a predator. She was my prey. There was nothing else in the whole world but the truth. There was no room full of witnesses. They were already collateral damage. Damage in my mind. The mystery of her thoughts were forgotten. Her thoughts meant nothing, for she would not go on thinking much longer. I was a vampire, and she had the sweetest blood I've ever smelled in more than 80 years. And then he said, as her foot touched the ground, her eyes slid towards me, a movement that clearly meant to be Stephenie, something like that. Her gaze met mine, and I saw myself reflected in the mirror of her eyes. The shock of the face I saw there saved her life for a very throny or something like that moment. Then a little bit later, he said, she walked more quietly now, as if she understood the need to escape. Her haste made her clumsy. She tripped and stumbled forward, almost falling into the girl seated in front of me. Voluble, weak, even more than usual for humans. And he said some other stuff, and then he said the scent swirled around me again, scattering my thoughts and nearly propelling me out of my seat. And then he was saying, destroy evidence. There was a fundamental rule. That was a fundamental rule. I quickly pulverized the edge of the shape with my fingertips. leaving nothing but a ragged hole and a pile of shaving on the floor, which I scattered with my foot. Destroy evidence, collateral damage. I knew what had to happen. The girl would have to come sit beside me, and I would have to kill her. The innocent bystanders in the classroom, 18 other children and one man, could not be allowed to leave, having seen what they would see. And there's some other parts, because like I said, it's like that bit right there. So very interesting, though. So far, it's pretty interesting, the first chapter, at least. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm not going to read any more tonight, because I am over here falling asleep, and it is almost midnight. So, tomorrow I will read a whole bunch, and yeah. We'll see how much I can get done tomorrow. And, this will probably be in a few parts, you guys. Well, I'm gonna, yeah, if it's like more than 40 minutes, which it probably will be, then it's gonna go into another, it'll be a part 1 of 2, just because you guys know I don't want to be too super long in one video. That way, if it is long, then you can have breaks in between. But it won't go up until everything's done, of course, until I'm done with the whole thing, because it's a long book. Like I was saying when I first talked to you guys, it's like 660 pages, or close to it. 658 pages. So, yeah. But I'm going to let you guys go, and I will let you guys know tomorrow when I've read some more. Night. Hi, everybody. So, I read a little bit more today. I haven't read a whole lot. I am now on page 88, chapter 5. It's right after, a little bit after Bella almost got hit by Taylor, or how do you say it? I think it's Tyler. And of course it was through Edward's eyes. So we find out like how his family reacted, because, you know, he put them in danger, you know, by saving her. And you got to see like how some people was like wanting her to die, to be like to kill her and stuff, because they were afraid that she would, you know, tell them what she saw and stuff like that, and put their life in it, you know, their life on the line, or whatever you want to say. And how some people weren't, and it showed like how Alice saw Bella and her becoming really good friends. And what the thing is, I don't remember if it told you in Twilight. I can't remember, even though I read it recently, but I can't remember. But what's interesting that I don't remember it saying in the Twilight is that, I'm sure it didn't, that she saw either him killing Bella, or like actually killing her, or turning her into a vampire. So she saw one of the two outcomes. And one of the people that was, of course, you know, we should know who the two people that were that wanted her to kill Bella. Rosalind, or how do you say it? Rosalind? How do you say her name? And Jasper. And Alice was telling Jasper how she doesn't want him to kill, you know, her best friend, or who's going to become her best friend. And then that's where we get the vision that we see that or Edward sees that she had a vision of it being one of two ways. And he could tell that she was a vampire because of her eyes. So, very interesting. So now, that's the biggest reason why he wants to push her away, is because he doesn't want that to happen. Which we already know that he doesn't want Bella to be a vampire. But, still very interesting. So yeah, that's basically where we're at. I know I'm not very far yet. Hopefully I'll feel better tomorrow, because I got this really bad headache, and I'll be able to get more read. But But I just wanted to update you guys to let you guys know that I did read some, and I'll be back sometime tomorrow, which will be Thursday, to update you on some more if I manage to read anymore. But that is it for tonight. Bye. Happy Thursday, everybody. So, I'm still, like, hardly anywhere in this book, as you could tell. Like, hardly anywhere. Like, here's where I'm at. I got a long ways to go. Yeah. I'm on page 142. It was just after, Bella, passed out. And then Edward asked her, you know, to go if she needed a ride to get to, what was it though? Wherever she made the excuse that she was going. But anyways, so that's the part that I just ended on basically. And yeah, and she went home. He took her home. And yeah, so like I said, it's very interesting because like I said, we get like everything, like Edward's point of view of everything that Bella talked about in the other book. Like how we found out that he watched her like when she was sleeping and stuff like that. So it actually like shows that part. And that's where like a lot of the reds, I mean, I didn't put reds I don't think on here, but I put like underlined a lot of stuff and it was like red because of what he was like talking about and stuff and how dark it was, you know, like, and just, you know, wrong. Like so wrong. But he put down like, where was the house part? Because that's something else. That was when, the part I was just looking at was when he thought, what's his name, might have done something to Bella when she first passed out. I forget what the guy's name is. But anyways, it says, there's this part when he's watching her and it says, a small brown spider crawled out of the edge of the closet door. My arrival must have disturbed it. I don't know how to say this name. A bobo spider or something like that. From its size, a juvenile male. Once considered dangerous, more recently scientific studies have proven its venom something to humans. However, its bite was still painful. I reached out with one finger and crushed it silently. Hi, Gray Gray. Perhaps I should have let the creature be, but the thought of anything hurting her was intolerable. And then suddenly all my thoughts were intolerable too, because I could kill every spider in her house, cut the thorns off her rose bush. She might one day touch, block every speeding car that got within a mile of her, but there was no task I could perform that would make me something other than what I was. I stared at the white, stone-like hand, so grotesquely human, and despaired. Sorry, the kitten's all over me again. And then there was some red parts that I did, I think, before that one. Like when he first got into the house, I think. I don't remember if I put red on them or not. I might have just started putting red with the spider, because it, yeah. But I did put some other reds, I know. I did do some reds before that. I just didn't mark it with, you know, with the annotating. We'll be with the flag. He says, I was repulsed by myself as I watched her toss again. How was I any better than some sick peeping Tom? I wasn't any better. I was much, much worse. And then there's another part that I underline where it says, what were human worlds to me after all? How much did I ignore on a daily basis? He said that because right above it says, curiosity flared, overpowering self-disgust. So long as I tried to hear her and felt, the lure of those unprotected, unconscious spoken thoughts were impossibly tempting. And then he talks about, human laws have never applied to me, and this was hardly my first adventure with breaking and entering. I would keep a careful distance. I would not harm her. She would never know I'd been here. I only wanted to be certain she was safe. It was all rationalization, evil arguments from the devil on my left shoulder. I knew that, but I had no angel on the right. I would behave as the nightmarish creature that I was. And then there's another part I underlined. I wanted very much to go read the titles of her books and CDs, but I was determined to take no more risk. Instead, I went to sit in an old rocking chair in the far corner of the room. My anxiety eased. The dark thoughts receded from my mind was cleared. Then it says, right now with her dark hair tangled and wild around her pale face, wearing a threadbare t-shirt full of holes with tatty sweatpants, her features relaxed in unconsciousness, her full lips slightly parted, she took my breath away, or would have, I thought wearily, if I was breathing. And then a couple other ones. I didn't underline everything, but there was some I underlined, like and then the one I just talked about, the spider one I underlined in red. And then I underlined some other ones. This is the last part where he's with, where he's in her house. He's like, deliberately I locked my body into perfect stillness, frozen in place, then took a breath, another, then another, lit in her scent, ripped through me like wildfire. Their room was thick with her perfume, her fragrance was layered on every surface. My head swarmed from the pain, but I fought the spinning. I would have to get used to this if I was going to attempt any kind of regular proximity to her. Another deep, burning breath. I watched her sleeping until the sun rose behind the eastern clouds, plotting and breathing. Yeah. There's a lot more parts that I could have underlined and read, but I didn't. My arm was getting tired. But yeah. I'm still liking it so far more than Twilight, just because, like I said, it's darker. So, yeah. But I'm very excited to continue on and you know, read some more. Especially, you know, towards the end when she almost gets, you know, when she gets taken or almost gets killed, whatever you want to say, when the guy says that he had her mom or whatever, and then she leaves and all that stuff. I think that was in the first one. I can't remember, though. It was either the first one or the second one. I can't remember right now, my brain. But, yeah. But I know something happens and they fight. They have, like, a fight. But we didn't get to see it, of course, because it was an Edwards, you know, thing. So, yeah. But, yeah, I'm going to let you guys go. I know this is, like, taking me forever to read, but I'm just trying to take my time. But hopefully I'll be done with it this weekend. If I read any more tonight, I'll update you. This is probably going to be 2 parts because this is probably already over 20 minutes or right at 20 minutes. So I'll probably go for 40 minutes and then start another now I got lost. If it gets up to 40 and I still got a while to go, then I'll do another part. If it's at 40 and I only have like maybe 100, 150 pages left, then I will just continue and it'll be just a very long video. But I might do it in 2 parts, so we'll see. But if I read any more tonight, I will update you. Otherwise, I will update you sometime tomorrow. Bye for now. Hi, everybody. So it's just a little after midnight, so it's Friday. I read a little bit more in Midnight Sun. Now I'm on page 219. I'm getting ready to go on to. Well, after I go to bed and wake up, of course. Do a few things. But yeah, I'm on chapter 11. So we just got to the part where, like, it's a little bit after Bella almost got attacked by that guy, and I think there were some other people with him. But it was the main guy that the one that was really going after Bella, that well, anyways, I'll get to that part. But so we got to that part, and then we got to the part where Bella told him that about her theory about him being a vampire, and he confirmed it basically. And yeah, and then it was talking about, like, then we found out, like, what happened, like I said, to the guy. that was chasing her when her and Jessica and I always forget the other girl's name, but when they were at the restaurant, I mean, when they were shopping, I mean, at the mall or whatever you're gonna say, and Bella basically left them for a little bit, whatever you want to say. Yeah. So, yeah. So we found out what happened to the guy and what the guy's name was. So yeah, that's basically about it. Some more of Edward watching Bella sleep, and yeah. But yeah, so far so good. I still think so far I like this one better than Twilight, but I don't know if it will be any higher than Twilight, if that makes any sense. I don't know. Like, I do like this one more. Maybe I would give it right now. Like, I think I gave Twilight 3. I can't remember if I gave Twilight 3 or 3.5, but I think I gave it 3. This one feels like it would be a 3.5 so far, maybe 3.75. We'll see. I mean, I still got a long way to go. There's over 600, like 658 pages or something like that. I'm only on 219, so yeah. I still got a while to go, so. But we shall see. But at least I made pretty good progress yesterday. So yeah. But I'm going to let you guys go. And I don't know how much I'll get done reading tomorrow. Later today, I know I'm going to read more. If you guys saw my, you guys will have seen it way before this comes up. But I'm doing a readathon starting tomorrow, so like a weekender one. So I'm going to be reading this, but I'm going to be also reading some other books, so we shall see. But yeah, I'm going to let you guys go, and when I read some more of this and I have something to say, I'll let you know. Night. Hi everybody, happy Friday evening. I'm sorry I haven't updated you yet today. Well, since I updated you last time before I went to bed. I have read more. I'm on now, 294. So, let's see, what has happened? Let me talk about it. Let's see. So, something that I thought was interesting, I don't think it told us, but in, I think it's Angela and Ben, I think. Yeah. Edward wanted to get Angela something because Angela's been like really nice to Bella and stuff, and he didn't know what to get her because basically, she didn't even know what she wanted. But he came to find out that she had a thing for Ben. So I thought it was really sweet. He had Jasper help him, and they did something that pushed Ben into asking her out on a date. Angela, it's Angela, I believe. I think Angela is the nicer one, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So I thought that was really sweet that Edward did that. That shows that he can be a sweetheart when he wants to be. Then we got where the first time he went into the house, or I think it was the first time he went into the house, that Bella, actually knew he was in there and not sneaking in there when she slept. But anyways, and it was where, what is it, Billy or whatever his name is? Where he noticed that Edward was around, and it was Jacob was there. It was before Jacob turns into a werewolf, of course. Yeah, so that part we got to. And yeah. And then he was talking to Esma. And I thought that was really sweet how much he loves his mom, because he does call her mom. So yeah, I like that even though he's very stalkery, because a lot of things he does is very stalkery in this book. I love that he loves his family. Even though him and Rosalie, or how do you say her name? Fight? They're not, what you call it? He still loves her. You could tell, you know. So yeah. But I think that's it for right now. Nothing else has really gone on. I think I'll read a little bit more, and then I'll update you one more time before I go. One more time this evening if I do read any more. And then I think I'm going to wrap this part up and make it 2 parts. That way it's not going to be like real long, because it's probably like already like almost 30 minutes, if not over 30 minutes. So I'm trying to keep it at 40. So yeah. So I think that's what I will do. So yeah. Otherwise, if I don't read any more tonight, then I'll update you guys tomorrow when I read something, and then I'll put it up and do a part 2. But yeah, so I will either talk to you later tonight or tomorrow. But bye for now. Hi everybody. Sorry I didn't update you guys yesterday. I just did not read any in Midnight Sun yesterday. I just was not in the mood to read. I wanted to read some of my other books, but I did read a tiny bit. I'm on chapter 18, page 382. We haven't had nothing too much yet. We got to the part where, like they were in the meadow, and before, when, the one time I think he was supposed to take her home, but beforehand he took her to the meadows or whatever, and it's the part like where he like kind of went cuckoo, like how he does, and was being all weird, and then he was talking about how he could easily kill her and all this stuff. Let me see if I can find where it was. Let me see if I can find the part I'm talking about. He says, "As if you could outrun me," I laughed at the thought, the grotesque comedy of the images in my head. The sound of my laugh bounced in harsh echoes off the trees. And after the chase, there would be a capture. And then there's some other stuff he says, and then he says, "In 2 strides I was standing over her, just an arm's length away, as if you could fight me off." Yeah. And then he's all of a sudden like, "Don't be afraid. I promise. I swear I'm not going to hurt you. Don't be afraid." Really? Please forgive me. I can control myself, all this kind of crap. Yeah. And then talked again about Hades and the pomegranate, whatever you want to say. And then she was asking him about what was it? Oh, like how she smells different than a lot of people. It's her smell that usually makes him want to kill her or whatever. And he's trying to explain to her like what it's like. And he's like, you know how everyone enjoys different flavors. Some people love chocolate ice cream, others prefer strawberry. And he put it, "Ugh, it sounds worse out loud than I would have thought for such a weak beginning." And he's like, "Sorry about the food analogy, however that word. I couldn't think of another way to explain." And then he goes on and he's like, you see, every person smells different by a different essence. If you lock an alcoholic in a room full of stale beer, he'll gladly drink it, but he could resist if he wished to, if he were a recovering alcoholic. Now let's say you place in that room a glass of 100-year-old brandy, the rarest, finest conjunct, I forget how you say that word, and fill the room with the aroma. How do you think he would fare? And then he says something like, and then she's like, "So what you're saying what you're saying is oh, wait a minute. First he says, maybe that's not the right comparison. Maybe it would be too easy to turn down the brandy. Perhaps I should have made out alcoholic a heroism addict instead. And she says, so what are you saying is I'm your brand of heroin? And he says, yes, you are exactly my brand of heroin. And then there's another part. He's like, I couldn't live with myself if I ever hurt you. You don't know how it's torture. The thought of still white color or something. The thought of you still white cold, to never see you blush scarlet again, to never see the flush of intuition in your eyes when you see through my pretense, it would be unendurable. Then there's this part. And so the lion fell in love with the lamb. And then she says, what a stupid lamb, she teased, straightened out the joke. What a sick musk lion, I countered. Boy, like really. But anyways, that's basically what's going on. But yeah, I'm going to end this one because this is a long part. So I'm going to do this in 2 parts. So this will be the end of part 1, and then we'll finish. We'll do a part 2. All right. So I'm going to get this for it can get ready, even though it's not going to go up until, I'm not going to schedule it until I'm done with this one. That way they could go up at the same time. So yeah, or a couple hours apart, whatever you're going to say. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys all later after this is uploaded and I've read some more. All right.